Pixels flicker neon bright. Old freaky gamer plays all night. Joystick in one hand, fries in the other. He's the king of one more level, brother. Press start, he's in the zone. His phone's a squeaky chair alone. Old freaky gamer, he's got the knack. Blasting through the GamezAttack. Leveled up and don't look back. Old freaky gamer on the track. 8-bit dreams and a 16-bit past. His reflex is slow, but his will is fast. Button mashing like a man possessed. High score chasing, he's obsessed. Respawn, repeat, rage, quick restart. Every pixel's a work of art. Game over doesn't mean goodbye. He's back again, give it one more try. Old freaky gamer, he's got the...
Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome one and all to the GamezAttack podcast here on OldFreakyGamer.com. I am OldFreakyGamer, Mr. Mike. This is episode 68, as I'm calling this episode Eventually to Become One. Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Knock, knock, open up the door,
Oh yeah, baby. So, how's it going, gamers, gamettes, gameathoners? How's it going? It's going amazingly with me. Sort of. You know, it's been a long week. Recording this actually on the weekend, on Saturday. Yeah, go figure. I usually try to record these early, but it's been such a week, folks. It's been such a busy week for Mr. Mike here. Just a lot of things going on work-wise, stuff like that. Just haven't had much of any time to play any games or anything or do anything. I played a little bit of here and there, but it's just been crazy. Very crazy. And the weather's been cooling off a little bit, at least for this weekend, and then hopefully it'll go back up. And I'm probably the only one that says that hopefully it goes back up, because I do like it warmer, because the mornings have been really chilly, and I'm like, no, I don't want the winter yet. Winter's good for gaming, because then I'm just sitting inside and doing nothing but gaming, but I like to be outside, and I still got some outside projects I want to get done before it gets really too cold and all the other crap comes. And that's just me. I only speak for me. I don't speak for the majority of the people here in Buffalo, New York. And if the little yappy dog keeps yapping more, I'll have to close the window. Like I said, been busy. I got busy times ahead. I got a bathroom remodel project upcoming for in the middle of this month of August, because we're in August already, go figure. And it's going to be a little bit more when it comes more towards that time. We'll see how podcast will go. It's only going to be for one little weekend. It's so that one weekend, maybe I'll have a podcast ready for Monday, maybe not. I'll give you guys a heads up. It's still a little ways away. Let me see here. So right now I'm recording on the 2nd. I'm not doing this major project till the 23rd, so more to the end of August, because it'll go from the 23rd to the 26th. So that's going to be the week that's going to be busy for me. But next weekend, next Saturday, and the following Saturday, I will be prepping stuff. I'll be like tearing popcorn ceiling off the ceiling of the bathroom, stuff like that. And that it takes a long time, but not too long. It's not like I got a huge bathroom or anything. I'm just prepping it so when I just do the remodel. And it's going to be it's going to be a remodel, but it's not tearing everything out. I'm just mostly painting and painting and protecting, should I say, the bathroom, because I got certain individuals that live with me here that take super hot, steamy showers, which goes all over the bathroom and eats away at the ceiling, eats away at the walls and the wallpaper. Wallpaper slowly coming off. the ceiling is falling apart, the popcorn off the ceiling, and part of the ceiling is just cracking off and stuff. You know how that is. If you're in a house without any like fan or fart fan in your bathroom, if you don't got a fart fan in your bathroom, I was gonna get one installed, but then I also had my house insulated. So there's probably a lot of insulation in there, and I just don't want anybody ripping through my ceiling in my bathroom. I was going to do it myself, but then I need an electrician to get some wiring done in there. And then they would have to rip out a bunch of that stuff and rip out the ceiling. And I'm like, a cheaper way, because it is a small bathroom, and it's like, do I really need to install a fart fan? Because like I said, it's a small bathroom. I'm going with an alternative that I have devised that I've been using for like other projects. I got this, it's mostly meant for roofing jobs. It's a clear coat sealant that goes on and drives clear and all that. It's really nice. It waterproofs basically if you're doing your roof, or if you got a patch of roof or something, it clear coats that. It can clear coat the siding. I did concrete in the basement. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to use this shit in the bathroom, because you just can roll it on, paint it on, all that stuff, and it'll leave a nice clear coat. So what I'm going to like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix up the ceiling, scrape off all the old popcorn crap off the ceiling, because who puts popcorn ceilings in the bathroom? Old people back in the day, because this whole house had popcorn ceilings throughout the whole house, because, that's what old people do. That's what they do. That's what, in the old days, that was the easiest thing, because they didn't want to see cracks in their ceilings, and they didn't want to fix it. They didn't want to bother with that stuff, so they put popcorn ceilings up to give it some texture and to hide any potential cracking of their ceilings, instead of just going up there, doing a little patch job and painting and stuff, because old people and people back in the day did not want to do that. So it was popcorn ceilings everywhere. Kitchen, bathroom, stupid. Anyways, and I know this is a gaming podcast, but, this is kind of interesting. So what I'm going to do, strip everything down, everything out, and then I'm just going to paint. It's going to be paint jobs, paint like countertops, redo the countertops and stuff in there, the cabinets, the flooring. I got a nice roll stick-on flooring, because you don't need to put on a whole brand new floor. I'm just going to get rid of the ugly looking floor that I got. It's like a greenish, pukish, like flooring. And I got this nice roll-on stuff that you use in bathrooms and stuff. And I'm just going to roll on a new floor. Simple as that. You don't need to do anything major with that. Just get some of that special adhesive caulking to put underneath it, so when you do put that stuff on and roll it on, it sticks better and it stays on for all that stuff. But I'm going to use that stuff, and the walls, I'm tearing down the wallpaper, and I'm just going to paint the walls. I'm painting the tile. I was going to remove and put brand new tile in my bathroom. I was going to get some big tile and redo all that, which would cost more, and it would take a lot longer to do. And I just said to myself, you know what? This tile is not bad. It just needs some repairing. I got all this plastic, Plex, what do you call it? Plex tile, whatever. And I'm like, I got a whole container, a whole box of this tile in the basement. I just got to get some, tile adhesive and fix some of the tiles up, get rid of and kill and scrape off the mold that the lady in my house has created with her super hot, extremely hot showers, and fix the tile up after that, and then I'm gonna paint the tile. There's special tile paint that you can get that you can use in bathtubs and tiles. I have bought that. And I'm going to paint the tile in the bathroom, and then I'm going to put the clear coating over that so it makes it even better. And then, because it's an old house with weird construction, there's a window in the bathtub, or over the bathtub where you shower and stuff. So you got this wood-framed window. Yeah, not a good choice for what they did, but this is back in the day. They didn't know any better about how they should do construction. So instead of, I don't want to take out the window because I want the window because then you can open it and get some fresh air and you can see out of it and stuff like that. It is a privacy window too, so you can't see in. But I want to leave the window there and stuff. So I'm just going to repaint the wooden windowsill, and I'm going to put my clear coat sealant around it so water can't seep in and make the wood get all moldy and shit and rotten. You know, I've been pretty good with that with paint jobs, but paint jobs aren't going to last. They eventually peel, but this clear coating will stop all of that. So I'm going to clear coat the ceiling as well. I'm going to clear coat like most of that bathroom. Whatever I can clear coat, I'm going to clear coat, except for the cabinetry and stuff like that. That doesn't need to be clear coated, but it's going to be brand new, special, fake marble painted cabinetry and stuff. And then, like I said, I'm going to do the floor and stuff and doors and stuff like that. And then when when that's all said and done, it's going to look 1,000 times better. That my bathroom's going to go from night and day or day and night, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be really cool. I am really excited about it. I was going to do it later. I was going to do it like in September, this bathroom remod of my house. And like I said, this is an older house. This is a smaller, older house. You don't want to put hundreds of, or thousands, I shouldn't say hundreds of how, but thousands of dollars into like remodels of your internal of your house and stuff, because unless if you got like one of those bigger houses, like really big houses, and they use the fine wood and stuff, that's when you put the money into that stuff. But for a small old house like mine, ranch style, upper ranch style house like mine, you should not put in a fortune into doing remodels. You could do simple stuff and make it look super good. That's what I did with the kitchen. I didn't spend a super fortune on remodeling my kitchen. I did very basic stuff, painting, this, that, ceiling, and the kitchen looks amazing. So amazing that anybody that comes in here to do any other work that I don't do into my house or whatever, I get visitors or whatever, they come in, they're always looking, they're like, wow, this kitchen is so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, it only cost me, what, $1,000 to do or less because, well, 1,000 because I did buy the kitchen island for it. But yeah, otherwise I told them this is all painted. They thought it was real marble. And I'm like, no, this is painted on. And stuff like that. So people are always like, oh, holy shit, that's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. So you can do really good stuff for your house. Just make sure you don't overspend. And if you're a do-it-yourselfer, this is one of those good fun projects for yourself to do. But like I said, I wanted to do a concrete job, but I'm waiting for it to cool down, which it is cooled down now, but I want it to stay cooled down. So September, I'm going to try to do this concrete job and bust out my front walkway to my front deck porch and stuff like that, and then re-cement and all that stuff, do that in September, and then I'll be done with that. And then maybe next year, maybe I'll paint the house. Maybe I'll be wanting to repaint the house with a different color because my house is white. I want to make it a more of a darkish blue maybe to match my awning for my deck porch, but we'll see. But that is a plan that I have to paint the house, which that'll take some time, but it's vinyl siding, so I didn't want to just replace the siding of the house and just redo it because the siding's still good. I could just patch it up and do a little bit of patch and paint. That siding will last another lifetime as long as I live, or if I ever move out of this house, which I probably won't. I'll probably live here for the rest of my life. But you never know. I might move out. It depends on how New York turns into California or not. A lot of people keep going, oh, New York ain't that bad. I'm like, it's getting there. But maybe if not, then I'll definitely do that. But otherwise, if I'm going to live here for the rest of my life or most of my life, I want this house to be my castle. I keep it that way inside and out. So try to beautify, try to add some, plus it adds value to the house. When you're redoing stuff like kitchens, bathrooms, stuff like that outside, it adds a lot of value to the house. And then, I still got to get the rest of the fence in the backyard, and I might want to get a swimming pool someday. That's another dream of mine. I just got to figure out who and where and what it's going to take to get a nice swimming pool installed in my backyard. It's above ground. I'm not going to get an in-ground, but above ground swimming pool. And then I plant trees and stuff. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, and it's good. It's good that it's early on, still young-ish. Till next year when I'm 40, and then I'm like, almost midlife crisis coming. I think I passed that already because I'm like, hey, I already bought everything, so what am I needing to buy for a midlife crisis? I got nothing. But yeah, that's a plan for the near future, folks. And I'll let you guys know, and we'll see how, videos go and all that. Like this week, I don't even know. I got an idea on what I might be doing for a Let's Play this upcoming Wednesday of this week after this podcast, but I'm not going to mention it here on the podcast because it might change. Last week I put up my nice play of Splatoon 3 online. That was fun. I should put that in my list here because why not? Splatoon 3 Switch. And I mean the original Switch, not the Switch 2. But I played some Splatoon 3 online. Did some splatting online before I canceled my membership after 3 months because I only had a 3-month code for Nintendo Online, and because I don't go online with my Switch at all, I barely play the thing, so why do I need to pay for online? Even though I could just put down $20 and have Nintendo Online for a whole year, so it's not like it's a big deal, because I'm not going to get the more expensive $40, $50 one for the extra games and stuff, but for the Nintendo 64 games and stuff like that and GameCube games, because I have them on ROMs, so it doesn't really matter. Or I actually have them owned too. I have them on ROMs, I have them owned, so I don't really need that service, so I don't need to pay them anymore. But if I really wanted to and I wanted to get back online on the Switch and play games online again, sure, I can drop a 20 here anytime for that. So it's not a big deal that I cancel it, because why do I need it to automatically renew after my 3-month trial payment, whatever it was? I had a gift code for 3 months of Nintendo Online, but like I said, I hardly played it, and I hardly played. The only game I played online was Splatoon 3 a few times because I wanted to play it, and it's a fun game to play online on the Switch. So there you have it, folks, for that. And like I said, I'm not going to be going out and getting a Switch 2 anytime soon. Like, let me check here. I'm going to check right now because I was going to check before. And I forgot. But I think Switch 2s are still available. Let's see. Unless if they finally became unavailable, because for the longest time, since the last time I had my last podcast, the Switch 2 was available. Okay, it's unavailable. Okay, Switch 2 basic system isn't unavailable here. This is in my region, Buffalo, New York. So anything can be different. I'm checking the Best Buy website, but I'm looking online. I can purchase right now, add to cart, the $499.99, or I can pre-order for the Switch 2 Pokemon Legends Z through A Nintendo Switch 2 bundle that's coming out in the near future. But I can get a Switch 2 Mario Kart World bundle right now for $500 if I wanted a Switch 2. It is available at Best Buy right now. Let's check Amazon.com, and I'll check Walmart right now and stuff like that. So let's see here. Let's check the quick things. So Amazon, yes, it is available by invitation. If you want to click on it and get invited to get a Switch 2, that means Amazon does have Switch 2s in stock, and they got both the regular system that you can get by invitation or the Mario Kart World bundle for $499. But like I said, I don't need a Switch 2. I barely played the Switch, and the Switch 2, when I want to get it, I want a bunch of games out for it already, and I'm going to get them all digital anyways. And 2, I want the OLED version when eventually they announce an OLED version like 2 to 3 years down the line. So that is my prerogative. So if you're like me, you can willing to wait is a lot easier than just going, oh, I want it now. And I better buy it before they become more expensive or whatnot. Let's see here. I'm looking on the Walmart website, and it is available on Walmart.com. It is available. Could buy now, add to cart if I want to do that. I don't know if you can get it in store, but delivery is very simple, and it's free if you buy something expensive from them. Yeah, price when purchase online, $4.99. So Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart have it. How about Target? Because I can't leave the Target people out. We're just quickly doing this on the fly, folks. So I'm quickly doing this on the fly, and it's available everywhere. Oh, look at that. It even pops up right before I even mentioned anything. And let's see here. So Target looks like it is out. Let's see. Except, wait. Oh, no, it's available. So what was that one? Was that the Pokemon one? Okay, this is a different one. Okay, that's weird because there's like 2 listings for this. Okay, so it is also available at Target.com, at least where I'm clicking here. I can click. I can add to cart for shipping. I can't pick it up, but shipping, I can get it shipped by August 6th, Wednesday, August 6th, if I want one. So, yes, it is available pretty much everywhere. There's nowhere you cannot get a Nintendo Switch 2 if you really, really wanted one right now. So they are in supply. And it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if people really are not too much into the, you heard all this people complaining about price points, stuff like that. I only complain about the Mario Kart World price for $80. I think that is still an outrageous price for that game and what Nintendo's doing because they know they can get it out of suckers like that. I think that's a blasphemy on its own self. I think they should go back on that. The console itself, $499, I think that is a decent price for the technology and hardware you're getting, even though I wish it did come with more RAM in there, more memory, storage memory, not RAM, but storage memory, maybe RAM too, but storage memory in general. But it's Nintendo, so they're not going to do that. They want you to buy those special micro SDC whatever cards to add storage because it keeps it safe for them. So anyways, if you want a Switch 2, you can get one. I am going to wait. My Switch 2 is going to be the Asus ROG Ally or Xbox Asus ROG Ally. So, and we're going to be talking about that in a few seconds because, people are like, oh boy, that ROG Ally, Xbox ROG Ally is going to be really expensive. And I'm like, yeah, what do you expect? It's a PC in your hand. What do people complain? Even try to complain? I don't even know what the complaint is. You get, and I hear it from other podcasters like, well, if they're trying to keep we can talk about it. Let's talk about it now. Let's get into it now, and then we'll talk about other stuff. But yes, let's see here. Do I have this here? Do I have this even in here, or is this on another thing? Hold on, sorry for this. I didn't expect to be talking about this right now. Let's see. Maybe I didn't put this in my list here because this is the other stuff. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I didn't put that in the list. But yes, I thought I put it in here, but maybe not. Maybe not. Well, Xbox is going to be at Gamescom on the 20th at Xbox. They're going to have an Xbox booth on opening night live on August 19th. Live from the heart of Xbox booth on the 20th and 21st of August. And they're going to have the ROG Ally, Xbox ROG Ally there at Gamescom. And I'm surprised I didn't put this in here. I thought I put this in here. Oh, here we go. Let's bring this. This was a news story. That's why I put it under news story. That's me. So there's been rumors talking about what the price could be. There's like rumored prices and when it will be releasing. But it's supposed to be probably after Gamescom, which, like I said, is the 20th and stuff, they're going to announce probably pre-order dates, stuff like that. Oh, pre-order, or when the date is, when it's going to come out, the Xbox ROG Ally. So they're going to pre-order them probably in August, hopefully from Xbox Store, or the Microsoft Xbox Store, because that's where I'm going to get mine from, the Xbox Microsoft Store. Because I might use some points for that as well, because don't forget, if you got reward points, you can turn them into gift cards, which you can also use in your Microsoft Store stuff. So, yeah, and I might want to get on to my friend and say, hey, if you can give me those Xbox cards before the end of the month, or give me the money or something, I'm going to add that to my new Xbox ROG Ally. I am purchasing the Xbox ROG Ally. I'm purchasing the more powerful one, the Extreme, if that's what they're calling it, Xbox ROG Ally Extreme. And then they're going to have the regular Xbox ROG Ally, or Asus ROG Ally Xbox, whatever they're calling. I call it the Xbox ROG Ally. They call it the Asus ROG Xbox Ally. That doesn't roll off the tongue. The ROG, or the Xbox ROG Ally, that rolls off the tongue. Or the Asus Xbox ROG Ally, that rolls off the tongue. Asus ROG Xbox Ally? No, it doesn't roll off the tongue as sweet as that. But enough of me talking about bad naming. Yeah, it's supposedly going to be pre-orderable by the end of this month, and then it's supposed to come out by October or something, which I will definitely be, like I said, making sure I'm there to get it. And people are talking, and this is coming from, podcasters, leakers, IGN PC World. We got everybody commenting on this. And a lot of them are saying, oh, if these new PC handhelds want to succeed, they're coming in too expensive. And, they're blaming Microsoft because of, I'm sure Microsoft charges for the license for Windows for one thing. Two, it's got very, the most advanced handheld technology you could put in a handheld right now. You got the most advanced technology that is in these handhelds right now that they can actually put into there, and that the battery doesn't drain in like 1 second kind of technology, because they have to make. I know a lot of these handhelds also use regular CPUs, like some of them actually use regular chip CPUs, and I'm like, that's gonna drain that battery pretty fast, because it's not made, that CPU chip wasn't made for a mobile device. But some people are using regular chips, but for people like Asus and a few others are using the AMD special mobile gaming chips that they're creating for this. The what is it called? I forgot what it's called. The Zen something Extreme 2 chips and stuff like that, and those are more made for mobile gaming and stuff. It has everything on the SoC and all that, and it could do their FSR technology and the ray tracing and making better frames and using less battery for all that stuff, and being able to play the most demanding games that PCs offer on these handhelds that make them run and look decent on these handhelds. There's a lot of technology that goes into it. And then you got the Steam Deck, which came out before all of them, and it uses still the most basic technology. It has its chipset. It uses like an AMD chipset, I think, or it's custom AMD chipset, and it uses Linux, its own Steam OS, which is its own Linux-based Steam OS stuff, and it uses what's that software that runs PC games on it? Oh shoot, it's I'm trying to think of that stuff. It's been a while since I've been thinking about it, but it uses the software that tricks games, or most games, to be able to be played on the Steam Deck, even though it's using a Linux-based system. But it uses the code wrapper profile that can play most of the games, not all of the games, a lot of games, PC games, that you can buy mostly from the Steam store, to be played on a Steam Deck. and it does a good job of it, at least a decent job of it. Probably less so now because a lot of these games require all this extra stuff, and eventually Ace is going to have to update that. But everything else, if you run in a Windows-based handheld gaming PC, you can run everything, all the games, depending on what they need for graphics and how much memory and stuff like that. That might differ between game to game, but that's going to be any PC game. But the ROG Ally, like I got over here, is made to play like your PC games, most of your PC games on the handheld and stuff like that from multiple stores, not just from Steam, but from like the Xbox store, Epic store, Nvidia store, etc., 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 on your device, just like a PC, because it is a PC on the handheld. It runs Windows 11, which a lot of people still complain about and yell about all its background processes and stuff, and they say, well, Windows 11 was never made for this. And yes, it was not made for a handheld because there was no such thing as a handheld gaming PC back earlier when Windows 11 was created from Microsoft. And of course, there's a lot of background processes because those processes are made for a PC, which basically the handhelds are a PC. They're just a different type of PC because they're more made for gaming and stuff. So all in all, everybody's complaining about, oh yeah, well, it's got all this stuff, but these PC, like the ROG Ally and stuff, are way more expensive than a Steam Deck, which is $399.99 or $400 or something for the base model, I guess. And I'm like, yes, of course. Yeah, because first off, Valve they own Steam. They create their own back software to run their games. They own the platform and all that. And the hardware that they know they can run all this stuff on is developed by them. So they know they have it all in one like bubble that can keep the prices down because they don't have to license Windows for each of their devices. They don't have to do certain things. They just make the bare minimal or whatever they think can run the PC games that their Steam store can run, that can run in their special process to allow their Linux-based system run these PC games. So that's how it runs. Now for Windows, on the Windows side, that's all native. So it's all normal. It's how it runs because that's what it's made for. That's what most of these games are made for. They're made for x86 PCs. And the whole thing is that a lot of people think that people should start making more games in Linux and then Windows and stuff because people are Windows haters and stuff. And I can understand. Sometimes I have problems with Windows myself. But I've been running Windows since Windows 3.1. That's how far back I go. I used to use Windows since Windows 3.1. I used 95. And I've been through it all. So I know how Windows is. I do not mind Windows. I like messing around with Windows. I like bending Windows to my personal needs and stuff. And it does a decent job. Excuse me for hitting my mic. It does a decent job of what I need from it. That said, yes, there is a lot of stuff that runs in the background and a lot of stuff that I personally know what to turn off. And I turned off a lot of those processes in my ROG Ally Extreme Edition, which I have back here. I don't have the Ally X, but I have the Extreme Edition, which is the first ROG Ally that came out. It's the Extreme Edition, which is amazing in itself, and it still plays most games really good. And I turned off a lot of the background processes because I knew, Windows has this and this and this started up, this is on, this is running, and I turned a lot of that stuff off. What Xbox Microsoft is basically trying or going to be trying, hopefully successfully going to be trying to do, is get Windows 11, a special version of Windows 11 for these partner devices like the Asus ROG Xbox Ally or ROG Xbox Ally, Xbox ROG Ally, for my taste. What they're going to do is they're going to revamp a new version of Windows 11 to be more Xbox-like, but also still have that PC component behind it, It's just like your Xbox systems. If you have an Xbox or a Series X or S right now, that's running Windows in the background. It's running a version of Windows 11, whatever, in the background, but it's got the Xbox wrapper on top of it, so you do not see any Windows 11 shit behind it, but it is running like a kernel version of Windows 11 in there, but you're running Xbox. So it's playing all your Xbox games. It's developed, it's designed to do just Xbox games and your Xbox. So going forward, what they're trying to do, because now they want to do the play anywhere and everywhere, a lot of these games are going to be more developed, more to the PC-centric side of gaming going forward, even though they're going to be Xbox games, but they're going to blend the Xbox and PC sides together so they can work together and not just say, well, this game can only work on Xbox platforms and this game only works on PC, or you can play this, it's all going to be just a game. It's going to be all just an app, a game. You can play it on both systems. It doesn't matter. There's no there's no problems doing either or. So going forward, what they're going to try to do is turn off most of the background processes in Windows 11. They're going to have this special Xbox wrapper over it, just like your console, so you'll be able to play those games or whatever games from any stores. Like they're trying to integrate Steam and everybody else into that thing because they want to be more open. And hopefully, and I'm my fingers are still crossed because it still sounds like they're trying to do this, and fingers crossed, everybody, that most of the games on like my Series X, any digital games, I should say digital games, because if I have a disc-based game, I'm not going to be able to play that on a ROG Ally, an Xbox ROG Ally. That's just not going to happen. It's got to be a digital game you purchase. Like if it's just a game that only can be played on Xbox right now, like let's just say like Diablo 4. They do got a PC version, but you got to get it through the battle.net, and it doesn't give you achievements. It's really bullshit. But if I wanted to play the Xbox version of that on my ROG Ally, maybe that'll let me do that. Or let's just say like a certain company like Ubisoft refuses to make an Xbox, a true PC Xbox version of like, let's just say the latest Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, right currently, if I want to play Assassin's Creed Shadows on my ROG Ally Extreme here, I can, because you can play via cloud streaming, and I own the game, and I can play via cloud streaming, which works very well, by the way. And I got to let you people know, that's really good. I got to say, Xbox cloud streaming has been really good for a lot of games recently, so Microsoft's been doing good on that part, on the server end part of gaming. But if I wanted to play it natively, like if I just wanted to download the game here and play it, technically I can't do that right now because I don't have that software. But hopefully in the future, like this ROG Xbox Ally, if the new version of this Windows special edition of Windows 11 / Xbox software over it, maybe that will let me play the console version, the digital console version of Assassin's Creed Shadows natively on my device and not have to stream it from the internet. So it'll be installed on my device and I can play it, even though it's a console game. And any console game that I have digitally owned that I can just download to my Xbox, but it can't be played on an Asus ROG Ally or anything right now, maybe those games will be able to be played on this future hardware. If that happens, if Microsoft / Xbox can do this and get this done right, that would be a game changer. That'd be a real big game changer for people like me, because I'm crazy like that. And that would be a beautiful thing. Now, note, people are complaining, well, this thing is going to cost a lot more. And yes, they stated, and there's reports that say, well, the Xbox ROG Ally Basic is going to be like $700, and the Xbox ROG Ally, or the Xbox ROG Ally X, I think that's what it's called, the Extreme Edition of the Xbox ROG Ally, is going to be like over $1,000. It's going to be, they're saying like $1,030. I'm sure Microsoft and Asus aren't gonna put $1,030 for their system. They might go $999.99 or something. But they're not going to go 1,030 because that'd be stupid to put a number like that up. It could be higher than that. It could be 1,299 or something like that, or 199, 1,199.99 or something like that. But I'm thinking maybe it'll be 700 and then 999.99, something like that, or 699.99 and 999.99. So the extreme edition of the Xbox ROG Ally X could be $1,000 for the more powerful system with more RAM in it and stuff like that. That's why it's more expensive. It's going to have more RAM in there. It's going to have more stuff into that thing. It's going to be more powerful with the chipset and stuff. It's going to have a more powerful SoC on it compared to the base one, which is for the basic people. But they're both going to run games. It's going to be like the Series S and X for people's price points. And I'm like saying, okay, $699 or $600, $700 for the basic unit. Okay, I think that's okay. People are saying, no, that's crazy talk. No, it isn't, because you got to understand, you got a powerful handheld gaming PC in your hand with screen and controls and everything. What do you expect? It's not like you just got a dumb box sitting in front of a TV. You got it all in one. All this stuff that's going to be in, and then they're supposed to have special force triggers and other stuff that they said they're going to do better with as well. And I'm like, okay, but they're putting a lot of stuff into that, and it's a computer that you can actually probably still use as a computer on the side. $699, $700 doesn't seem like that much, because you're getting like a gaming console, and you can use it as a computer if you want for $700. That seems about right, because that's what it is, basically, a gaming computer handheld, even though it's going to be an Xbox branded version. And the more powerful one, the $999 one, yes, it's going to have more RAM in there. You know, RAM memory technology is very expensive nowadays. It's very expensive. And it's going to have more power. It's going to be a more powerful chipset and stuff in there. Going to have, I guess they said, even more battery power life in the Xbox ROG Ally X. Don't quote me on this. It's all just, speculation. There's a lot of specs on this stuff, but it's still speculation specs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be a more powerful system. So $1,000 for that, I'd say, as a gamer, gaming isn't cheap hobby anymore, folks. You just got to get over it. I've kind of gotten over it. And if it's like games and stuff, and if I'm not wanting to pay like $80, $70 or $80 for a game, I will just wait. Or if I have like gift cards or something, I'll put it towards it. But otherwise, I just wait for the games. You're just gonna have to wait. Gonna be patient, because eventually sales will come, especially digital games. Microsoft just had a huge digital game sale going on, which I'll talk about after this, because I bought some games, of course. But spending $900 on it, and people say, oh, well, if it's not going to be like $399, $400 like the Steam Deck, that's not, they're not going to get too many people in the field. And I'm like, if real gamers want to play their games the best way possible, especially if they want to play them on a handheld the best way possible, and they want the most power, they want the games to run the best, I pretty much would think they would take that hit to purchase a $1,000 ROG Ally, or at least get the $700 ROG Ally, even though I would suggest you get the more powerful one because of the memory you're going to get out of it and stuff like that. And plus the fact that you can add more storage to it as well, because I think the base model is going to have 512 gigabytes of memory, and then the extreme version is going to have a terabyte in that, which I'm going to upgrade mine to like at least 4 terabytes anyways. So I'm going to put in a 4 terabyte M.2 drive in my Xbox ROG Ally Extreme anyways. So I'm spending another, $300 or $400 more. Maybe if I go crazy and I want to buy the 8 terabyte M.2 drive, maybe I'll even do that. But I might stick with just a 4 terabyte. I think 4 terabytes is enough for little old me and on all the games I put on my Xbox ROG Ally. But still, I spent a lot on that. And think about it. This is going to be a machine you play for a long time. You're going to be playing outside, playing inside. And maybe you just don't want to run your gaming PC all the time and wasting getting those big electric bills like I've been getting. Like I got over a $200 electric bill because I've been using, well, my air conditioner, my whole house, my air conditioning's been running for days and weeks on end. And plus I'm using a big gaming rig to play games. If I can play my PC games on a ROG Ally or Xbox ROG Ally, I don't have to run the big machine all the time and suck up all that extra energy. I could just plug in a little Xbox ROG Ally or something, play on my handheld, whatever. Or if you're crazy enough, you can plug it into your TV set, because you can plug it in via the HDMI connection thing, and there you go if you want to play on your TV. But, you got to expect a higher price point. Look at the consoles. They're all going up in price. Everything. Nintendo just announced the price hike on the original Switch. PS5 is going to go up in price. The PS5 Pro is super expensive. The Xboxes have gone up in price. Anything hardware-wise is going up in price. So you cannot complain and point fingers at them and say, "Oh, this ROG Allies and these PC gaming handhelds are non-starters for the gaming industry because who's going to be buying these expensive machines?" And I'm going to say, well, if gamers want a game on the go and they don't want to buy a Nintendo Switch 2, they're going to be buying these systems and they're going to get a lot out of them. And like I said, you can use them as PCs as well. So if you need a new PC as well to do homework or whatever on, you can do homework. You can run these as good PCs. You can plug them into monitors, have wireless keyboard and mice and stuff like I did because I put my thing and I tried it out. It works. It works just well. So people got to understand these things are PCs. Sure, they're going to be Xboxes, but they're going to be portable Xboxes and stuff like that, or portable gaming devices, but still, there's a lot of technology going in there. So as a person like me, as a gamer, as a person that doesn't like more expensive games and the industry is getting expensive, it is an expensive hobby right now. And I can come to terms with the hardware because, you're not constantly buying the hardware. You're buying it every few years or something. Like it's been, 3 or 4 years since I had the Xbox ROG Ally Extreme here. The ROG Ally Extreme, not the Xbox, but the ROG Ally Extreme behind me here. It's been 3-4 years going close to. So, yeah, sure. Am I going to be buying another one in the next 3 or 4 years? Maybe not. I don't know. Depends on how big of a jump it is going to be in technology. Now, this jump is going to be pretty significant from my original ROG Ally to this Xbox Extreme one. Yes, I'm going to get it. Plus, I want the more video RAM and stuff so I can run these games a lot better because more of the VRAM in your system, the better it is, and it's going to be a faster VRAM in these newer ones too. So it's going to work out for me. So just letting people know, my opinion is, if you want a game on the go, you want a portable gaming system or any gaming system, you're going to be spending some money. You cannot act cheap on buying your systems, especially a portable. And I'm sure a lot of these people are going to see that. Smart people are going to see that. Smart gamers, I should say, are going to see that and go, yeah, it's worth it. Or if it's a parent buying one of these for their kid, they're going to go and look and say, "Ooh, this is super expensive." But then if they understand, or if the kid tells them, "Well, this could be used as my computer too," and they're like, "Oh, this is a computer too," and they're like, "Yeah, it's running a Windows 11 underneath the thing," and they're like, "So you can put a Microsoft Word and stuff on it?" And they're like, "Yeah," or OpenOffice or LibreOffice or whatever. Then they're going to be like, "Okay, we'll buy you this gaming handheld, and you can use it as your PC as well. We'll buy a wireless keyboard and mouse, hook it up to a monitor or TV, and there you go. You got yourself a PC, you got yourself a gaming device, you got everything, and then you only had to buy one thing. You didn't have to buy 2 units on that." So what can I say? How can I sell people more on this idea? Because pretty soon, people aren't going to be buying these more expensive consoles because they're more expensive. They're not your typical $300 to $400 consoles anymore. They're $500, $600, $700 more anyways. So what do you want? Another box that costs you $600 to $800, or a little handheld that costs you a lot of money but can do basically the most things that the consoles can do. And then who knows in the future? Maybe these little things will do even more than what the consoles can do. Maybe they'll get better than that. I don't know. Because, like I said, I'm probably not going to buy another proper Xbox, especially when Xbox has stated that the Series X and S are going to, at least the Series X is going to last a lot longer this generation, that pretty much game developers are going to still keep developing games for these lesser consoles for a very long time because it's just cheaper and easier to do. And then these newer systems are not going to really be pushing anything more except for more. They're just going to be more powerful and more expensive. And it's like, I'm good with my Series X. If that's my final Xbox for a very long time, that's my final Xbox for a very long time. And it's a great Xbox. I use it for streaming to my TV, media. I do play games on it still. You know, I've been playing my, what do you call it? RoboCop Rogue City game from it, and I use it as a Blu-ray player too. I just played a Blu-ray movie. I played RoboCop on Blu-ray on my Xbox Series X when I was watching it yesterday because I didn't have time to rip it to my digital library yet. So, you know, it's still good for that if you want a Blu-ray player. So, yeah, but going forward, I got a PC. I got a huge gaming PC here that sucks up a lot of wattage and stuff that's very super powerful, custom built by me. I got a future Xbox ROG Ally X coming, and I got this I keep trying not to say it. I got my Asus ROG Ally Extreme here. I'm good. And then if I want to play Switch games, I still got a Switch. So I'm good. all around. So people got to stop complaining. And when I hear these podcasters and people just going, well, I don't know about if gamers are going to get into this portable market stuff because it's just too damn expensive and Windows sucks and shit like that. And I'm like, it doesn't suck that bad. It does not. And I know I'm an outlier, and trust me as much as you will. For me, I grew up with Windows like I said, from Windows 3.1 when they were on little 3.5-inch floppy disks when you put them into the floppy drive and it goes da 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 da. So I might be an outlier on this, but nowadays everything is so streamlined. You can make it simple. You can make Windows work for you. You can make it simple. And with these gaming handhelds like my Xbox or my ROG Ally Extreme, you're running their software on top of Windows 11. On top of that, you're running the I can't even I forget what it's called, the Asus Armory Crate. There we go. You're running Armory Crate on there, which is the thing that takes all the games from anything that you bought it from, like if you downloaded or bought and downloaded from like Steam, Xbox, etc., puts it all on this nice clean interface, and you can click on it. It'll load up the appropriate software and service that you need to run the software with, and just like a PC, it runs it, and it's just runs so beautifully. I have so much. It's so easy for me. I have my ROG Ally running really well with games, PC games. It's just like me playing on a console or on a regular like Switch handheld, and I have no problems with it. Now, sure, some games, more powerful games, do run a little bit less because they're more powerful games. So I very much understand that. But a lot of the games that I play on it, new and old, have ran very well on this ROG Ally. So, and like I said, I got the original ROG Ally with less memory in it and less stuff. Now, when I get this new one, that's probably going to be light years and steps higher grade than what I got now. So take it as you will. That's my grain of salt. If anybody's got any comments, questions, stuff for me, let me know. Email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. You can tweet me at oldfreakygamer, or you can just I'm on BlueSky at OldFreakyGamer as well with the BlueSky handle. Or you can also just comment back on this podcast on youtube.com /OldFreakyGamer 2023, you can just comment back on this podcast if you want directly on YouTube. If you're watching the video version of this podcast, let me know. Let me know what you think. Because what I think is people got to just get over some stuff. There's more outrageous things going on in the world, especially in the gaming industry right now that, like what's the price of games? Are people still trying to up the price of games? Even though Microsoft just had to knock down the price of the Outer Worlds 2 from 80 to 70, which good. You better keep that stuff down because it's not going to help you out much. But yeah. Okay, so before we get into some stuff like the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase just launched, or they launched earlier in the week. I didn't watch it, but I see all the games in the aftermath here. I got a list of the games that were talked about and shown. Nothing really big, but I'll go through them very quickly. But first, I want to tell you the games that I bought on the Xbox Super Sale that they had going on. I think it was the Summer Showcase Super Sale. I forgot what they called it. It was like the Xbox Summer Super Sale. It was going on both the Xbox and the PC Xbox side stores, or if you go to Xbox.com. Check out Xbox.com for the sales a lot of times, because sometimes you can even get a better price for some weird reason. I don't know why the prices aren't all the same all the time, but if you check, if I'm checking on my Xbox or my PC Xbox side of the stores fronts, and then I go to the Xbox.com site, sometimes the price is a little cheaper on the Xbox.com site or something. Somewhere there's missing something, and then it's cheaper on one of those other storefronts from Xbox. And I'm like, shouldn't this be the same price as this? So you might want to check that out sometimes. That's a good little factoid for you guys, because I usually check that out, and I go on all the three storefronts, because most likely I'm going to want to buy my games. I want them to be played both on Xbox and PC. But I understand a lot of these games are still not made for PC or put on the PC side of the storefront. So sometimes I do buy them for just Xbox. But I got 3 games. I purchased 3 games, 2 of which I don't even know why I bought them. But I bought them because maybe someday I'll play them. And I can play them, I think, both of these games on the PC store as well. I think there's only the one game here that I can't play on PC. But I purchased Gotham Knights Deluxe Edition. I know, everybody's so-called favorite game, which I hear is not that bad. And I looked at the the videos, and I looked at some people's reviews, and they're like, it's not that bad. And I'm like, well, it's only $8.99 or $9.78 with tax. So I purchased Gotham Knights Deluxe Edition. So if I hate it, it's only gonna empty out under $10 of my bank account. So it's not really a purchase that's going to harm me or anything. It's not $60 purchase or $30 or something like that. This is a under $10 game right now that I purchased. So Gotham Knights Deluxe Edition, because I'm like, yeah, okay, it's not Batman, but it has, I do like Robin and Green and all the other characters and Batgirl and stuff like that. I'll try it out. It'll be a fun hoot and a holler. If I need something to stream or something or whatever, put a Let's Play of, there we go. Let's go back and try it out and give it a second chance for people. And a lot of people said this is an okay game anyways in the story and stuff. So I'm like, fine, I'll get it. This next game is a game that I won't be able to play on PC, but I don't care because I'll play it on my Xbox. And this is like a sequel to 60 Seconds Gone, which they also had a new version of as well that you can purchase. But this is 60 Parsecs. So same idea, but you're in space. You're a space family. And you got to get out of whatever, your home or whatever, and do whatever, go to safety or whatnot. So this is like a space version of that 60 stuff. So it's called 60 Parsecs. It was only $4.99, so $5 or $5.43 with sales tax here in New York, of course, for the 44-cent sales tax. But I purchased it because I'm like, oh, I like that other game. I have that other version of it on the Switch, but I'm going to get it on Xbox. Try it out on Xbox. Have some fun, get some achievements, and yeah, why not? I did like those 60-second games. They're pretty good. And then the final third game, which I already own on Xbox One. I already own this game on the Xbox One. I have the Xbox One version of this game. But I said to myself, well, this is on PC, Mike, so maybe I want to play it on PC or my handheld or something. And I did like the first game of this series. It's by Warner Brothers Games. It's Middle-earth: Shadows of War Definitive Edition, which went back up to like $40-something, people. They want $40-something fucking dollars all these years later for this game still. And it uses the whatchamacallit engine. It uses the Get You Back engine or whatever it's called. The boss engine. I forget what it's called. It's when you kill like a big bad guy boss, and the Nemesis system. There we go. It uses the Nemesis system in this game. And I like the first Middle-earth game, even though I never beat it. I played a ton of it on Xbox. Now that I can get, I think they even had the first version on PC. I think so. But I got the second one. I got Middle-earth: Shadow of War Definitive Edition. I guess it comes with a bunch of DLC stuff as well. I got this version. It was $6, $5.99, $6, or $6.51 with sales tax and all that. And I'm like, man, maybe I might want to get back into this because I had so much fun with the first one on Xbox. And I'm like, well, now I can play on my RAW Gallery or PC or something, so I can have some more fun with it eventually. And I'm like, why not? It's a small drop in the bucket. All three games were a small drop in the bucket. Spent under what, $13 for everything, or under $15, I should say, for everything, give or take. Or wait, let's see here, 6, 10, 19. Okay, I spent over $20, a little bit over $20, like 21, 22 something. Don't comment on my math, people. Oh boy. So I spent like a little over $20 something, $21, $22 for all three of these games. Not bad for three games. Well worth it. And they're games, if I ever play them, I play them. If I don't, then I don't. It's not a big deal to me. And I got some extra games in my libraries to eventually play if I need to, It's nice to have more than in my backlog than I do. And, when there's big super sales going on, like on Steam or Xbox or something, sometimes I buy. Sometimes I bite the bullet and say, yeah, let's purchase a few games here and there. Why not? It's nice to have something to look forward to for the future, even if I never play them. And they're all digital, so it's not like it's taking up space in my house or anything like that. So it's really, really cool. Really cool on that. So like I said, Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct, showcase Direct for third parties. And, or I should say a third-party Nintendo Direct. And they showed off a bunch of games. A lot of them not really, like, I care. Some of them are coolish, but I'm like, it just seems like more of stuff more ports, maybe some special renditions of games that they put out that they're just redoing for Switch 2. It's just more padding of the Switch 2 library and stuff. Because I guess they said this is all games coming for the Switch 2, if I might say. I think that's what they said. I don't know if any of these games are going to be able to be played on the Switch. Maybe some of them. Maybe like a P3, Persona 3 Reloaded. I didn't look at which is which, but these are all coming to Nintendo's third party. So they're talking about Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, The Ventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, that's a Square Enix game, another Square Enix game, Octopath Traveler 0, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment from Omega Force, Once Upon a Katamari. So, of course, Bandai Namco's putting out a Katamari game. I don't know if this is a new one, because Once Upon a Katamari, that's a new title, but is it based off of another Katamari game? I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch the Direct, so I don't really exactly know. But this is another game they announced. Persona 3 Reload. Of course, they remastered Persona 3, and now it's going to be out on the Switch. Probably Switch 2, maybe 1 as well. I'm sure it can run this game on the Switch 1. I don't know if that's what their intent was, but it's coming on for the Switch, one of the Switches. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero from Bandai Namco. From Ubisoft Paris, Just Dance 2026 edition. I'm sure that's on both Switches because they put that game out on every platform they can put it out on. Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. Now from PopCap Games. Now, this game, I'm going to click on this because I forgot if this is just a rehash of the original. Yeah, the classic Plants vs. Zombies returns in HD. Experience the strategy game that started all with Plants vs. Zombies Replanted, now remastered with upscaled HD graphics and packed with new secrets to uncover with new levels, fresh twists, and 15 years of never-before-seen franchise history at your fingertips, blah, 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 from Electronic Arts. And it's on everything. Of course, they'd put this on everything. I wonder if it's on PC, Xbox, because I would love to play that on there. But maybe it's Steam panel. I don't know. I'm thinking I want to go click on here, which I am. Let's see. Let's see if I can get Plants vs. Zombies here on the Xbox store. Let's see here. I should go to the store here. Let's go to Plants vs. Zombies. Okay, they got another one. Battle for the Neighborville. That's a different one. Plants versus Zombies. They got other versions of this. Replanted. And this game didn't even come out yet, did it? October 23rd it's coming out. Okay. Yeah, so that's not coming out till October 23rd. But they do got Plants vs. Zombies like other games, but these are all from EA Play. Playable on PC, Game of the Year edition, stuff like that. So these aren't out. It isn't out yet, so okay. That makes sense. If the game isn't out yet, I can understand it, but it's going to come out for everything, they said, so I can totally understand if this came out for something else. But we'll find out about Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. I'm interested in it. I was a big Plants vs. Zombies guy back in the day, so definitely would love to play Plants vs. Zombies again, especially if you could get achievements and stuff on the Xbox version or PC Xbox version or something like that. Let's see here. Okay, I'm looking at Once Upon a Katamari as well. This is coming out October 24th, 2025. I might just click on some of these and just see what it is. So the king of all the cosmos and his family accidentally destroyed the Earth, the moon, and countless stars floating in the universe, travel through the Jurassic period ice age, historic Japan, and other eras to roll up objects with your trusty Katamari and rebuild the starry sky with all new stages, a new soundtrack, character customization, a new 4-player multiplayer mode, one that lets you players compete online or battle CPU rivals offline, and more. The quirky Katamari Damacy series returns. This is coming out October 24th, 2025 on Xbox, PC, Switch, and PlayStation. Interesting. So this is like a new game. Basically, a new game. Okay. That's cool. EA Sports FC 26, EA Canada. So for your footy ball people. Pac-Man World 2 Repack from Bandai Namco. Borderlands 4, folks. Gearbox. So that's definitely for Switch 2. So you know that. Final Fantasy Tactics. The Ivysaur Chronicles. Okay. Madden NFL 26, that's definitely Switch 2. Chillin' by the Fire from Oink Games. Okay. Hella from Wind Up Games. Don't know what the hell that is. Star Wars Outlaws from Massive Entertainment. That is definitely Switch 2. Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2, both separate titles from RGG Studios and Sega SS1. Okay, whatever that is. So those are definitely for the Nintendo Switch 2, because I think the Yakuza 0 did very well on the Switch 2 release. So, of course, they're going to want to release... They're probably going to release the whole Yakuza catalog on this thing, because why not? Because people have been wanting portable versions of Yakuza for a long time, even though you can play them on your ROG Ally, the PC version on ROG Ally, which I do. Chrono's The New Dawn from Bloober Team. Good Night Universe from Nice Dream. NBA Bounce from Outright Games. Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven, which is Square Enix, another Square Enix. Shinobi at the Art of Vengeance from Sega. Apex Legends for Panic Button. And then finally, to kick it up, to end it all up, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Wheatflower Wonderland from Sunblink. Woo! Hello Kitty Island Adventure, people. So 26 games on this Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. And when's these coming out? When's these Kiwamis coming out? It says June 20. Oh, okay. This is old. They're showing here. So no release date on this, I guess. They're just showing like old stuff on here. Okay. I'm just looking to see if there was some when these are coming out. But some of them might be out now. Some of them might be out in a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, they were showing off these games. Nothing really big. They're not showing off. They didn't show off, I don't think. Like I said, I didn't watch it, but I'm guessing they didn't show off any Metro Prime, because this is third-party people. So nothing with that, and nothing with any other games like Mario games, whatever. So there you go. That's your Nintendo's third-party direct showcase, whatever. Like I said, I'm not too upset about it, because like I said, I don't have a Switch 2, but okay, it's games, and it might be games that people haven't played, and it's just more filler, and it's like, okay, people are porting to the Switch 2 because it's a more powerful system and they can do it. So there's no wrong or bad about that. Here's the biggest news, and I'm kicking it off with this stuff. A lot of big news here. First, I'm going to kick off with these Xbox and others. Excuse me for hitting my mic again. Xbox and others, like GTA Online. But basically, it's Xbox and GTA Online, and then I'm sure there's going to be others following it, are doing some age verification checks with social features disabled or limited to friends due to the UK rulings and stuff and all that other stuff. Now, note, this is all happening in the UK right now, but apparently because of responsive UK sweeping online Safety Act bullshit, because parents can't parent their children anymore out there. I'm sorry, if you can't parent your kids, or you're not technically savvy enough to parent your kids on this stuff, maybe you shouldn't just have your kids play anywhere. You shouldn't have your thing online, or unplug it, or turn online off so your kid can't use it online. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't let your kids do anything with this stuff online if you're worried about this stuff. And if people are worried about this stuff, why is it the government's doing it? Well, first off, UK is not like the United States, but here in the United States, they're trying very desperately to try to do this. Oh, we're blocking everything on the internet and platforms thing because of the kids, the children. Gotta think about the children. Fuck the children. That's all I gotta say, people. Fuck the children. I was a child once. Now, no, I grew up in a different time, but still, I was a child once. I watched bullshit like this still. Didn't change me one bit. I don't care. What more can I say? If people are so worried about shit like this, then like I said, maybe parents should do better parenting, and it should be like, hey, if you're gonna do a Safety Act or something, or if you're gonna do a law or something, either here or the UK, Maybe you should put that on the parents, on the individuals that is. But you know what? They don't want to do that because they want it easy, because that would make it a little harder for them to do anything. So they want to do a sweeping thing so everybody pays for the same stupidness, that only few individuals ruin the thing for everything, for everybody. So we're going to put sweeping online safety and this bullshit of age verification bullshit on everything, because we can't just do it per individual, because you know what? People can't be trusted, and we're too cheap and lazy to do that. We just don't have the people to do that. Even though it should be on the parents and people for whom uses like social networks and online stuff or gaming online and stuff, that should be up to the parents. Parents should be parenting. And I know this for a fact that a lot of parents do not parent properly or at all. And depending on how mature their kids are, I'm like, that's on them. Why does that affect? Now, me, I don't have any kids. I'm almost 40. This doesn't really involve me, but if I have to go on Xbox or something, it's going to ask me for my fucking social security number or my ID card or something, my driver's license, I'll be pissed. I'll be like, fuck you. Fuck you. You should not have to have any of my shit. I've been using Xbox forever, and no. But, you know, they're trying to do that here in the United States, and it's a slippery slope, people. That's taking away freedoms. Now, in the UK, they don't have the same freedoms as us. They don't have the same kind of checks and balances and freedoms as us. Same with other things. Just like I said, GTA Online, prevent adding some controversial feature that may prevent some fans from playing, but that's only in the UK right now. So you need a photo ID, or credit card, facial age estimation, and uses of AI to determine the age of the individual. That's in the UK. That's not here. And frankly, like I said, it should be about the parents. Parents should do parenting. I don't really have any more stuff to say about that, because we're going to roll into this next bigger issue with credit card companies doing some more heinous stuff, and that should be should be shut down. You know, that stuff should be, censorship should be, people should be suing Visa and MasterCard. So we're getting from one form of censorship, which is basically trying to tell people, oh, you got to let us know who you are and your age and sex and all this stuff that they want to know about you. You're just, government's just taking over. Like I said, I hope that doesn't happen here in the United States, but it is kind of happening, because some states are doing stuff like age verification stuff for like porn sites and stuff. But now it's getting even worse, because now you got credit card companies and big corporations trying to tell you, no, you cannot play this or do this anymore. No, because it's no. And I'm really getting shaken up on how the state of the world is right now, and especially here in the United States or whatnot. Like I said, there should be some lawsuits going out. I would hope people will do stuff about this stuff. So now we're rolling from the age verification bullshit, which I already said, parents, you got to start parenting. Stop being fucking lazy pieces of shit. Start parenting your kids. If they're allowed to play a certain video game or watch a certain movie or do a certain thing, then good. They're mature enough. Then that's up to you to decide. You got to decide that. If not, you got to prevent them from doing stuff, which parents got to start parenting. Just saying. Now, this whole thing, platforms like Steam and itch.io, which people were complaining at itch.io and Steam, they're complaining at these guys for removing adult games due to critical pressure. It's not their fault. It's not these platforms' fault and anybody that has more like adult games, because who cares? Like, I was going to buy some adult games on Steam, but I don't know if, I think Steam put them in behind a wall or something. I don't know if they're being removed. Let's see here. The center controversy and depraved game dubbed No Mercy, which depicted acts of sexual violence, was promptly removed from Steam earlier this year, but became a rallying cry for Collective Shout's campaign. Oh, it's because of this Collective Shout campaign. This is I heard an Australian group, Australian hippie bullshit group. Yeah, Australian advocacy group, the Collective Shout. They're a bullshit group in Australia that have nothing better to do but to fuck with other people and fuck with industries and fuck with stuff like this because they don't believe in shit. They're these stupid holy people that are too religious for their own good, and they should all jump off the planet. They should all drop off a cliff. Really, seriously. I hate people that fuck with other things in the world. Now, no, I don't play any adult games, but I wanted to try some adult games because I do like hentai, I do like some adult weird shit on the internet and stuff like that, and the weird videos and shit. Because I'm an adult, I should be allowed to see that stuff. And I do like that weird shit because that weird shit gets really stuff, and some women like that weird shit too. And trust me, if your partner likes the same weird shit as you do, that just makes the loving a little bit better, folks. That makes the cohabitation a lot better. Sometimes some freaky shit like that, the role playing shit like that, that's good for relationships, folks. People got to try that more. But this whole thing, if I'm want to play an adult game, if I want to be touching this girl's, vag place with my mouse pointer and stuff and get her to go, or something like that, that should be on me. Now, don't want my kids, if I ever had kids, but I don't. I would never have my kids play that. I would lock that behind my own thing. Again, parents should be parenting. See, that crosses over to this. Parents should be parenting and not letting their kids see this stuff or do this stuff. But because parents aren't parenting, that's fucking on them. Don't fuck with our shit. And this so-called Australian advocacy group should fucking shut up, because not everybody should have to be like that. Some of us want that extra sexual encounters or interesting things and ideas and stuff. Because if we got rid of all those ideas, that first it's video games censorship. Next it's going to be what? Films and TV. Then after that, we're going to go after burning books again. When does that shit stop? When does censorship stop? When does it stop? And this should be illegal here. Like, not that I'm saying President Trump and the government should be going after like Visa and MasterCard and going, hey guys, you can't be blocking this shit. Hey, Steam and everybody. Here in the United States, if you're wanting to sell that shit, you should not be blocking that shit. But they got bigger fish to fry. They're not going to be doing this bullshit of censorship and stuff, even though it is big and people should be suing these companies for it. But with Visa and MasterCard getting being like little bitches right now, I'm going to just say it right now, they're being little bitches. And apparently this advocacy group in Australia has some sway with these so-called Visa and MasterCard people. Like, they know some people and they pressured these people into doing this. Like you're going to ruin, like, their images, like Visa and MasterCard's images are going to, if they get ruined, is that going to do anything to them? Is that really going to do anything? Oh, we got images to uphold. Okay, Visa, MasterCard, what kind of images? You're fucking criminals yourself. You charge a so-called extravagant amount of money to allow payments that you get free money from, that you take transactions of payments all around the world that go through you guys, and you make billions and billions and billions of dollars from, and you're saying you're worried about something like, people are playing adult games on Stitch.io or Steam. oh no, we can't allow that. So we're gonna say, hey, Steam, hey, itch.io, hey, anybody, if you're selling some adult shit, we don't like it. We're not gonna let you process your payments through us anymore. Who gives them the right to say who can process what? They should just be saying on their side, saying, hey, we just process payments, as long as it ain't for killing people or whatnot or starting wars, that's all good. Everything else is just propaganda and whatever, it should not be anywhere near, their problems to do. And even if they were in the bad limelight, who's going to stop using their fucking credit cards? Come on. They're doing enough of a good job of stopping people or preventing people from using their credit cards as much because they have upped their payment processing recently, which has caused me a lot of pissed offness in my area here in Buffalo, where I'm seeing a lot of these storefronts saying, well, if you use a credit card here, it's going to cost you 3 or 4% more that we got to charge or whatever bullshit because of the payment processing thing. And I'm looking at, or if you pay in cash, you get a basic discount because you're not paying the extra fee on your credit card. And I'm like, what is this bullshit? That's because of Visa and MasterCard. That's what people should be uprising about. Why am I paying extra to use a credit card now on top of the other stuff? No, that's wrong. That's wrong. But that's happening right now. So why did they care about, if there's porn or some weird shit on there? As long as it ain't fully illegal, like selling prostitutes or doing something really heinous, like selling mass weaponry and stuff, then video games and, videos and stuff that are, legal in places, legal stuff like that here in the United States and elsewhere should not be touched because, an advocacy group has said no to this stuff and they pressured you guys to stop. It's stupid. It is called censorship, at least here in the United States for now. It's censorship. It is wrong. I'm not blaming Steam or itch.io because it's not, they have to do it because if they don't do it, then Visa and MasterCard is going to say, you're not allowed to accept payments from us. And until everybody starts paying in Bitcoin and shit and telling Visa and MasterCard to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of here, pretty much they got the sway. So it's not them. It is Visa and MasterCard, which, like I said, and gamers are frugal. We get pissy. We get money, we get uprising, and I gotta suggest I'm fully for this as well. A lot of other podcasters and gamers out there are for this as well, talking about, hey, gamers, if you're pissed off about the censorship and what Visa and MasterCard are doing to block games like this, even if you don't play adult games, and I understand if you don't want to play them and you don't want your kids to play them, that's what's on you, the parents. The parents or guardians, the individuals, that's on you, depending on what your country's laws are, state and country laws are. That's on you, not anybody else. On you, the parents, the people. You should be the ones deciding yay or nay on this stuff. So here's the thing. Censorship is wrong. It is a slippery slope. If it is going to continue like this, with more and more shit, because they've been going and hitting porn sites left and right, saying, hey, if you're doing porn on this site, we're going to not let you do payment processes and stuff. And it's like, who the fuck are you guys to tell these people and censor these people if they're doing illegal stuff like I guess Pornhub was or somebody was doing? I think it was Pornhub. I don't, there's probably a bunch of other sites, but when they were doing illegal porn and illegal rape porn, child porn, stuff like that. Yes, go after those companies. Say, hey, we're going after you because you got illegal porn and shit on there. You're not doing, it's not, it's not, what do they call it? It's not sanctioned porn. It's not, the lady and the guy wanted to do this. They wanted to make the video. They wanted to do the porn. They're putting it out there to sell it. It was unsanctioned porn. So, yes, I can understand them going after those people for that. But if you're just trying to take down sites because they're just doing the nasty on those sites and doing weird, crazy shit like video games can do, and the video games could do some very heinous shit, then that's on the people, not on you. And I hope these gamers, because right now, gamers across the world, I guess, that's what I've been hearing, are sending mass emails and phone calls and gunking up the system for both Visa and MasterCard and to the major payment processors to protest over the Steam and itch.io shit that's going down, and saying, hey, this shit is, like I said, I think it's probably a legal option, a big legal issue here in the United States, because that's, to me, that's censorship, and that shouldn't be allowed. Now, if people are like, okay, here, Steam and itch.io, maybe you got to try to do harder to put these games behind like a special wall, and I hate to say age verification, but sure, put it behind a wall, so if adults and stuff don't want their kids to see it, they can lock their kids out of seeing like adult games behind this wall and stuff like that. Maybe build a back end better for that, for what parents and the people want to do, if they want to see that or don't want to see it, which Steam basically did. They did say, oh, hide all the adult themed type of games out of there. Yes, okay. itch.io, I heard, is a little harder to do. That's why they just took down the whole system, I guess, over at itch.io, of all the more mature games out there, which that's sad, but they got to try to do better over at itch.io. But Steam, they can do that. And I don't know. It's a slippery slope. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing and hearing out there. Like I said, I think everybody should, who is a gamer out there, if you believe this is bullshit like I do, even if you don't play adult games, if you think this is a breach of basically censorship and shit like that, hey, do what we're all doing. Just go call up Visa, MasterCard, email them, fuck with them. They can't do nothing. And then maybe some of the pressure on that get them to think twice and go, okay, we're going to stop doing this. And maybe if enough of us do that, then we can tell that fucking rights, that advocacy group, that Australian, I can't say that at all, advocacy group, to tell them to go fuck themselves off back in Australia. Yo, down under, go fucking down under and don't come back. Get the fuck out of other people's business trying to take away because your beliefs aren't the same as everybody else. Yeah, like I said. Because censorship is bad. And when you got payment processors doing it, that's even worse because they're not supposed to. Why is it their job to do that? It isn't. And why are they listening to this stupid little group anyways? Because they're stupid. They're a bunch of stupid people that don't want to take care of shit and say, hey, advocacy group, go fuck yourselves. We're just doing this. This is all legal in these states and countries and blah, blah, blah. Unless if they're doing something wrong and doing something really illegal and stuff, we'll let them do their payments and stuff like that. So fuck off. Sorry. But they didn't. They caved in for some reason. Like I said, censorship, bad, slippery slope. Remember burning books and stuff? People knocking down statues, which they've been doing recently because you got all these woke people out there burning books, pulling down statues and stuff, destroying history and shit like that, even though this is just porn and shit. It's wrong. It's just wrong. It's called Be Better Parents. Be better people. Be better parents. Be better people. I should have put that as the actual title of the show instead of eventually to become one. But I should have said, be better parents, be better people. Maybe if the story goes farther, I'll just put that as the next title. But shit, be better parents, be better people. No to censorship. Censorship, especially here in the United States, we're supposed to be free. Land of the free, people. Now, I don't know about other countries, but here, land of the free. Land of the free. Oh, hell yeah, land of the free. Yes, yes. So enough of that bullshit, but I had to talk about it because everybody else was talking about it, and it affects all of us, and it's about video games. And it's stuff that I don't want to talk about, but we have to because censorship and shit like that and age verification systems and all that stuff, it's just sending the internet and the gaming industry and any entertainment, form of entertainment, for people, adults like me and you, if you're an adult or soon to be adults, it's not going in a good direction. It's going in a bad direction. And it's got to be stopped. And like I said, if parents can't be parents, then don't be parents. Then you shouldn't have kids. It's called pull out, use birth control, or just don't ever have any kids. Period. I'm sorry. If you're going to be scumbags, and people are going to be scumbags, and let the kids get into that, and they can't figure it out how to stop them. And, you know, we were all kids once, and like I said, I seen a majority of shit when I was a kid, and that was before the internet days and stuff, and I seen some weird shit, and now I get to see other weird shit now that I'm an adult. Who cares? As long as it's legal, as long as it's, you know, not something, I don't know, that will hurt anybody or anything, who gives a flying fuck? I don't. Enough said. I'm done with this issue, unless it's something bigger comes out of all this later. So in some good, or maybe soon to be good news, we'll see where this all goes, because it could change just like the winds can change, so this can change. Sony wants to expand into PlayStation Studios games beyond PlayStation hardware, hiring to partner with Xbox, Steam, Nintendo Switch, and more, meaning, and this is the big meaning, this is what it sounded like, oh, Sony's waking up. They want more money. And they're like, maybe even though we're selling a lot of PlayStations now, the future ain't looking too bright on the hardware of the PlayStation. Maybe we got to expand to make some of this expensive money back from our, you know, our top tier, whatever titles are coming out of Sony nowadays, our first party. So maybe we'll be actually seeing maybe a Spider-Man game or I'm trying to say here, a Wolverine game on Xbox, or at least PC Xbox, or Steam. We'll see it on Steam, of course, but maybe PC Xbox, Switch 2. Oh, you want to see a PlayStation game on Switch 2? You want to see God of War on Switch 2? Possibly. Sony will love the money. This is mostly like game news story, so why don't we get into the Games Talk News? Might as well. We'll get into the Games Talk News now. Might as well.
Locked and loaded, ready for the fight. Game Talk News, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Game Talk News, gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
Okay, the Games Talk News. Now I was just starting to talk about how Sony is planning, and they're trying to get bigger into maybe third-party publishing. But I wanted to mention this very quickly. So I didn't put this in any of the news stories or roundup or anything, but you know, Microsoft laid off all those people, all those 1,000+ people. Did you just hear what happened this week or last week if you're listening to this podcast and watching this on Monday? They just became a $4 trillion company. I don't know if they still are. You know, that fluctuates in the stock market. But Microsoft has been evaluated as a $4 trillion company now. Isn't that just bullshit? That's bullshit. I just got to say, that's bullshit. I think Nadella and all them should be ashamed of themselves. And then on top of it, Nadella was like, oh, I feel sorry every day for all the people I had to fire. He actually said that. He said he feels upset about all the people that had to lose their jobs. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck everybody in corporate Microsoft and anybody in any corporation anyways. But, you know, fuck you, Nadella, and everybody in the stock holders and all that. Fuck all you guys. You're a $4 trillion company. If you couldn't find a place for all these 1,000 something people and you had to kill studios and games, because I'm just talking mostly about the game side right here, and all the studios and games like Perfect Dark and stuff like that, you could go fuck yourself. You're horrible people. You just lost, a lot of people lost their jobs and you guys got richer off of it, and you should all have super painful deaths at the end. Yes, very painful deaths. All across the board, because that is just, even I got to say that. And like I said, I'm kind of Microsoft fanboy, but I'm not. I'm saying this here, even though I'm kind of like, I love my Xbox stuff. I love the Xbox side. I love my Windows PCs and stuff like that. I'm still Windows. I'm still Xbox. I hate Microsoft as a company now, as it is now, because of the leadership. Bad leadership. Even though they're making the company lots of money, bad with people, bad with their employees, bad with people. I do not like that. I don't like people losing jobs and stuff, because that means more people on the streets looking for jobs. That means more people using the system. That means more money on my pocketbook to pay for these fucking people because they can't get jobs anywhere else. It's just a bad thing. It's a bad thing. No, they should all have their jobs. They should be able to make my Perfect Dark game that looked decent, even though if it was in very bad shape or whatever. I don't care. Fuck you, Microsoft. Fuck you, Nadella. Fuck you, shareholders. Okay, now on to the good news about bringing more games to Xbox and stuff. So they're talking about, hey, I think we might do Microsoft's got their strategies going great over at Microsoft, even though they're still firing people and shutting down games and stuff and all that shit. They're still making a ton of money, and they're making a ton of money off of us and our system, because they're published all their games that they're publishing on the Sony's PlayStation, and they're making a ton of money off. They're the highest selling games, because we here at Sony PlayStation aren't making any games, at least not that many. So yeah. So here, hold on. I'm trying to think here. Okay, so Sony, following Microsoft's multi-platform strategy, sort of, is looking into a bigger third-party publishing footprint across PC and even rival consoles, because they even see the light, because PlayStation 5, etc., very expensive, is getting more expensive, and maybe people that don't want to go onto the PlayStation like moi. But shit, I'll buy a PlayStation game. If you put any of those Spider-Man games on the Xbox PC, even though I got some of the Spider-Man games already. I have them on Steam already, so I did buy them. But if you put them on the Xbox store with achievements and stuff, and you put Horizon Zero Dawn on there, those, even the God of Wars, even though I'm not big on those open world God of Wars and stuff, and you put like Astrobot stuff, you put that on the Xbox or PC Xbox store and put achievements or whatever on it, I'll buy it. I'll pay for them. I'll buy them. You know, they're putting Helldivers 2 on there, even though it's not just a PlayStation game. It's mostly made by their partner with the company that made it for a PlayStation. But they put a net on there, and they're forced to put MLB The Show on there, and they're probably making money off of that from Xbox and stuff. So yeah, why not put all your other games on there? You know, especially when Microsoft's doing their multi-platform initiative and stuff like that. And only Nintendo won't do, because Nintendo don't need to, because they're the Apple of the video game world, so they don't need to do that shit. And they fully will accept all your games from PlayStation and Xbox on the Nintendo hardware, because they're like, yeah, we're the Mario company. Yeah, Misa want the money. Misa want all the money. I sounded like Jar Jar Binks there. Sorry, folks. Oh no, that's Mickey Mouse. Oh, Mickey Mouse will even join the high prestige that is Nintendo, because Nintendo's worth more than Disney right now. Oh, Mario. Oh, it's a me, Mario. I am richer and more powerful than the mouse. The House of Mouse. Sorry, my voice work, it needs a little work today. My throat. Anywho, I think that's great. I think Sony, yes. Hey, if you're not going to get me to buy a PlayStation at all anytime soon, or at all, Put it on third parties like Xbox, Nintendo, or, you're still doing Steam, sort of. But if they start doing it, which they even talked about, they might even do it day and date like Microsoft, or at least eventually do it day and date. But first they've been saying, oh, we're still going to make our console exclusives look really good. We're still going to do it like, oh, we'll put these games out eventually on Xbox and Nintendo's platforms a year later because we want people to still come to PlayStation to buy a PlayStation and make our games first. But maybe eventually Sony will see the light and they'll say, oh, yeah, we'll put these games out day and date just like ours, and whoever owns whatever system, or whatever, that's not going to matter anymore. Crossbreeding, people, we're crossbreeding now. PlayStation, Xbox, doesn't matter. Wherever place you want to play your games, it doesn't matter. Because Sony will make their games. They'll make money off their games. Microsoft will make their games. They'll make money off their games wherever they're selling. Nintendo will just make money, period. Not port any of their games to any other systems because they're Nintendo, the Apple of the video game world. So they don't care. And you know what? The funny thing about these news stories, this other news story states that, oh, guess what? The PS5 fanboys, not making enough games, not having enough stuff. Oh, they're getting really riled up about this. They're getting really mad, just like how us Xbox fanboys got mad. I only got mad at first, and then I'm like thinking, well, if it's going this way and you're gonna do this, okay, so be it. Now, I come to terms with that, especially because, if Microsoft's going to admit they're more of a third-party publisher and I'm still going to get my games on Xbox day and date and stuff with Game Pass and stuff, I'm like, why do I care? Even though, because like I said, Microsoft fired most of their stuff. They fired a lot of their hardware teams and stuff like that. They fired a lot of people. They let a lot of people go behind the scenes that do a lot of this stuff. So I'm like thinking, well, Microsoft's mostly trying to get out of hardware, period. They're only going to partner eventually with third parties to make their hardware, stuff like that. So technically, I understand Microsoft just wants to keep, or the Xbox side is just going to keep making games and be on a publisher of games and stuff like that. So if that's what they're going to do, and they're going to come to terms with it, and they think people aren't going to come back to Xbox as much anymore, okay, so fucking be it. So we'll have a Halo on everything, whatever. As long as I'm playing on my PC and my devices, So I come to terms with it. But now you got angry PlayStation 5 fans against multi-platform games. Email Sony. Ooh, we don't want to see these games end up on Xbox on the rival place. So, understandable. And it's funny when these stupid fanboys and people don't have anything better to do but write angry emails and make angry phone calls about games that are going on other platforms that are going to make the company more money to make more games for you fuckers. Anyways, that's still going to be on your platform, but you guys are so fucking ill-conceived and very, what is this word I'm trying to think of? You guys are very small in your thinking that you're like all, hindered that, oh no, it's no more console wars anymore. Oh no, we can't, games are going to be made for all platforms. No, we can't let that happen. Why? Why will we get better games and more of them and more platforms? And why can't we have choice? No choice. It's unfortunate and it's very stupid. And yeah, it's very stupid. Especially, Helldivers 2. That was one game that everybody, I guess, even on the Sony side said, yeah, put Helldivers 2 on Xbox because they wanted more people to play against. So I'm like, okay, that's cool if they put that. And now it's going to be launching on Xbox eventually, Helldivers 2. And like I said, if more games come to, everything, that just means... that just means it's going to be better for all us gamers out there because you get more games. And if you're on the platform of choice that you like to be on to play your games, you don't have to worry about, oh, now I got to buy a PlayStation. Now I got to buy this to play it. The only thing you're going to need to buy if you want to play games on is a Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever if you want to play Nintendo games. That's the only thing, unless if you're going to pirate them, if you can still find pirating sites or whatever to do that, which I suggest not. Unless if it's games like you can't get anymore. If you can't get certain Nintendo games anymore and they're not going to sell it to us, then I think it's okay to get those games. But if it's games that they're just selling now, like Donkey Kong Bonanza or something like that, then yes, do not do that. But people, these fanboys crying out saying, don't make these games multi-platform, go fuck themselves. That's all I got to say. Go fuck themselves. This is going to be another very explicit podcast, folks. Other news, Sony suing Tencent over the upcoming game. It calls a slavish clone of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm looking at the side-by-side pictures here, and I'm like, I haven't played the game yet. I own it on Steam, Horizon Zero Dawn. I want to play it. It seems interesting. Eventually I'll play it. And I'm looking at these side-by-side, and I'm like, yep, total ripoff. Total definite ripoff. Worse than the Pocket Pair Pal World thing, because Pal World, sure, there's some similarities to stuff, but it's not a Pokemon game at all. It's got Pokemon like shit going on in it, where they got the Pokemon, the pals that look like certain Pokemon but better, and they do some certain similar things, but still it's its own game. It's a Pokemon with guns and other stuff. Okay, whoopee fucking doodah. That means Nintendo do a better job over there and at Game or Pocket Monster Inc. or what's it called? Whatever it is over at Pokemon at the Pokemon Company. Do a better job making Pokemon games. You know, that's all I gotta say. Make them better, make them look better, and people come back. But if you're gonna make them the same old RPGs, people are going to get bored of them over time. What can you say? But here's the thing. Tencent, a Chinese company, ripping off IP from another company. A Chinese company ripping off IP from other Western developers. It makes sense because it's China, and they like to rip off everybody's intellectual property because that's what China does. And, you know, China, even though they say they don't sanction that stuff, they don't fucking care because they don't like anybody. They just want your money, and then they want to take over the world because that's what Xi Jinping and all them want to do nowadays. Trust me, I got one living in my house, but she's got to pay me. Anyways, yes, this is a blatant ripoff, and Sony is suing them. And then the story also stated that Tencent originally was creating this game early. You know, they were creating this game earlier, and they were trying to partner up with Sony to make this game, to have it as a partner game or whatever. And Sony told them no on that, but yet they still continued to make it. So it's like, okay, so they went behind Sony's back, and they're like, okay, even though we're a big publisher and developer here in China, we're still going to go behind your back and still make this game because we probably put a lot of work into copying everything and doing stuff, and we don't give a fuck. So, alrighty. Yeah, really, really petty, really stupid. And I don't know, they filed the lawsuit in California, but Tencent is in China. So what are you going to do to China? They'll still put the game out in China, right? In other places. You could sue them and tell them to not allow this game to go through, like here in the United States and the EU and stuff. But when it comes to China and other of those rogue territories, I'm thinking they'll still put this game out to sell it to those people. Just saying. I don't know. I don't know if they'll kill it. I don't know if China will respect the Western courts and say, yeah, Tencent, no, you got to stop making this game. Nope, you guys are blatantly ripping them off. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do about that. It's going to be an interesting story going forward. So apparently Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection release date looks like it's been leaked early by Xbox. That's cool. Apparently this collection, this Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection will be released on September 30th, at least, according to the Xbox app that was telling prospective players over the weekend before it got taken down, I guess. The original placeholder date was December 31st, 2025. But then it was showing on the Xbox app's Legacy Collection storefront page September 30th, which is a Tuesday apparently. Which to me, that seems like a good date. That seems like a good thing. I'm like I said, when this Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection comes out, I will purchase it day one. I will be playing the shit out of it and watching those interactive documentaries or the interactive documentary on this on the whole thing that is Mortal Kombat and NetherRealm Studios. I cannot wait because this is going to be 30 years of the franchise and stuff and all these games and all this stuff all on this collection. Like I played the Atari 50. I have that. It's not my biggest thing because I'm not the biggest Atari fan, but I like the history and I watched the documentary on that stuff with that. I have the Tetris one, the Tetris Tetris, what's it called? Does it say it in here in this article? Tetris, but the Tetris one, you know, the Tetris one that they just did. I bought that day one. I love Tetris. I played the shit out of it. I played the hell out of all the Tetris games on that, even the bad ones. And I watched the whole documentary on the legacy of Tetris and all that, the history and all that stuff. Alexei Pujanovsky. This is going to be big. This is going to be really big. I'm amazed and glad that Digital Eclipse is doing this. It's really cool. This is going to be really big, and I cannot wait to watch because there's going to be a lot of rare concept art, vintage marketing materials, archival video footage, all that stuff. It's going to have people from the original team like Ed Boon, John Tobias, John Vogel, and people. Oh, it's going to be really cool. Plus remasters and redos and making them better. And the originals of all these Mortal Kombat games are going to be in this collection. From portables to console to arcade versions. Oh, cannot wait. It's going to be great. So any Mortal Kombat fan is going to love it when September comes around, at the end of September when we're all playing this. And it's just going to be, where am I going to buy this collection on? Is it going to just be Xbox? Am I going to be able to purchase from my Xbox ROG Ally Extreme and get that and play it on the go? Because that's what I really would want to play it on, is my Xbox ROG Ally Extreme when I get it. I don't know. We'll see. For all you people that were, and I talked about this in the news story a bit ago, on people still wondering if Game Pass is still viable and if it's making money and blah, 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 blah. And people were saying, no, it can't be still viable, blah, 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 because they think they know everything. Well, it's just been stated that Xbox Game Pass revenue was nearly $5 billion for the first time over the last year. So Xbox Game Pass revenue reached a new record for Xbox over the last year, achieving nearly $5 billion in revenue for the first time. That's a lot of money. $5 billion they're making, that's a lot of money. Now, it doesn't mention how much they're spending to get games onto it, but I'm sure it's, good for everybody. I'm sure that they're making decent deals, making it like, oh, get this game on here, we get a cut of this, we get that. You could sell DLC, we'll make money off that. If people want to buy the game after, they can do that. Like I do sometimes. I'll buy a game sometimes, even if I got it on Game Pass, because I know when it goes off of Game Pass, I'll still want to play it or something. Same with that. This comes from the company's Q4 full-year earnings results covering the last 12 months, ending in June 30th, 2025, when CEO Satya Nadella announced the milestone on the call. He did not provide specific revenue numbers for Game Pass, but also did not share subscriber numbers. That said, Game Pass subscribers are confirmed to have reached 34 million back in February of 2024. It is suggested that 2 months ago that this number had reached 35 million, though it's unverified. Let's see here. I'm just reading through all the other bullshit. And you know what? It's still a lot of people. Sure, they can get more people. Maybe eventually with the Xbox ROG Ally Extreme and stuff like that, and the way Microsoft's going more multi-platform, more open with their stuff. So if you want to play Xbox games on anything, maybe that'll push Game Pass even more, because people will be like, if I just get Game Pass, I get all these new games, all this. I don't have to spend $70 or $80 on something, even though they cut their $80 thing to $70 again, because they know nobody wanted to spend $80 on the Outer Worlds or any other game right now. They might try that again in the future, or maybe not. Who knows? But they got shoved. That got shoved right back up their asses. Like, thank God gamers know how to shove that shit up their people's asses. I'm talking about you, MasterCard and Visa, even though they're saying, "Oh, we did not pressure." Because I'm just reading this little news story here that just posted. Oh, Visa, MasterCard stated that they did not pressure Steam and itch.io to stop selling adult games. Bullshit. Liars. So yeah, overall gaming revenue for Xbox was up 10% year over year, and Xbox content and services revenue was up 13%, driven by growth in first-party content and yes, Xbox Game Pass. But hardware revenue was down year by 22% because people don't want to buy Xboxes anymore. They want to play on PCs and elsewhere. And of course, Microsoft still fired a bunch of people over on the Xbox division, canceled a bunch of games, even though they're making money, especially from Game Pass. And Game Pass is profitable one way or another. You just got to think of how they do it. Like I said, they sell DLC for certain games. There's certain game deals going on. Microsoft does pay for these games to be on their service, but shit, they can make money after the fact when people want to buy the games after the fact. There's a lot of ways to make money from that. People just don't look at the broader spectrum of that, of how Game Pass works and how these games make these companies more money, because they're making money off of putting their game on Game Pass when Microsoft gives them that deal, that initial deal for how long the time frame is for their game to be up there, and that they get paid a certain amount of money for their game to be on. And then if they sell the DLC separately and whatnot, or if people buy the game after the fact or whatever, that's just extra money in both Microsoft and their pockets. So, And talking about more Microsoft goodness here, if you like to hear about the good stuff, even though, like I said, Microsoft, $4 trillion company, still fired all those people. Naughty. 6 out of the 10 best-selling games on the PlayStation last quarter in the United States were published by Microsoft. Go figure. So Xbox just had a great quarter too. 6 out of the 10 best-selling games on PlayStation consoles in the United States during the second quarter of 2025, April through June, were published by Microsoft. Go figure. Because there wasn't that many games from Sony. No games, hardly. Mostly Microsoft. So, got the list here. The 10 best-selling games. The first one is not a Microsoft game, but it's Elden Ring Night Rain from Bandai Namco. Number 2, Forza Horizon 5 from Microsoft or Xbox. Number 3, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, Xbox, Microsoft. Number 4, MLB The Show 25, that is Sony. That's one Sony game. Number 5, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, that's Xbox. Then number 6, Doom the Dark Ages, Xbox. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, that's Sony, that's number 7. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is number 8 on the list, Xbox. Minecraft, still on the list at number 9. Wow. People still love Minecraft, you can tell. Xbox. And then Ubisoft finishes the list on number 10 with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So, a lot of those games. Mostly Xbox. Go figure. Let's see here. News comes as Xbox announced quarter two in earnings, saw gaming revenue up 10 by 10. So then we got stuff from on the Xbox side here. If you want to talk about what their games top 10 were, number one was Elden Ring Night Reign from Bandai Namco. 2 was Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Number 3 was Elder Scrolls Online. Oh, surprising. Number 3 was Elder Scrolls Online. And then 4 was Minecraft. Then NBA 2K25, then WWE 2K25, then Assassin's Creed Shadows, then PGA Tour 2K25, then Call of Duty Black Ops 6, then lastly was Split Fiction. Okay, that's on the Xbox side. So you got that news there. Got 2 more news stories, good or bad, whatever you want to say. I think these are both bad. Let me see. Yeah, both bad. Sorry, gonna end up this news with 2 bad Nintendo stories here. Number 1, Nintendo rewrites patent mid-case in ongoing lawsuit against Palworld developer Pocket Pair. But why? Here's the thing, because they're desperate and they want to win, and I think that should be illegal that if they can be even allowed to rewrite a patent, especially during a court case. I would hope the Palworld lawyers go, hey, are they allowed? Why are they allowed to update this patent during the proceedings? Doesn't that make them look like the guilty party? You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that's a little skittish to me. So Nintendo and the Pokemon Company's patent infringement lawsuit in Japan against Pocket Pair's open world survival game Palworld is still ongoing. In the latest development, Nintendo has reworded one of its patents in the case, but what led up to this bizarre move? Well, Palworld is an open-world survival game that skyrocketed in popularity upon its Steam and Xbox Early Access launch back in January of 2024. I bought it. It sold 8 million copies in just 6 days and racked up over 25 million players in 1 month. Yep, I'm one of those people that bought Palworld. The game world is inhabited by creatures called pals, which you can capture and use to carry out various tasks. The visual appearance of the pals and the method of capturing them by throwing a ball, Pal Sphere, quickly drew comparisons to Pokemon, even though still way different game than a Pokemon game, because there's no real story to Palworld. Pokemon, RPG games. Palworld, open world, do what you want, have fun, build stuff, defeat big boss things, and do a lot of breaking of rocks, taking stuff back, and making your pals slaves. They should call it Slave Palworld, because they're all slaves, and all my pals are slaves, and they're very upset that they're slaves and stuff. And they're Pokemon with guns. For its darker black humor-infused take on the creature collecting genre, with Palworld's meteoric rise in popularity, it wasn't long before Nintendo rival Sony got together with Pocket Pair to form Palworld Entertainment. Back in June of 2024. Oh, so Sony got into some of that. Okay. A new business venture aimed at expanding the IP. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company showed signs of keeping an eye on Palworld. Yeah, because they didn't start suing them right away. They just started suing them when they were making that big money. But it wasn't until September 2024 that they officially announced that they were filing a lawsuit in Japan against Pocket Pair for infringement of patent rights. So not right away. They just wanted to wait to see how popular this game was. Instead of doing it right away and saying, no, you can't do this right away, like other things, they waited. They wanted to see, is this going to be popular? Are we screwed? If so, then we strike, because we're cowards. The case involves 3 patents granted by Japan Patent Office, or JPO, 2 related to monster capture and release, and 1 related to writing characters. All 3 patents were filed in 2024 after Palworld came out, which that seems very skittish too. That should be saying right there, these were all filed after Palworld came out. Well, the case is closed. Sorry, Nintendo. Palworld already did it before that. before you filed any patents on it. You can't claim that. It's open for everybody. But, of course, I guess Japan and the patent office in Japan, just like here in the United States, sucks at doing that stuff. Okay, whatever. However, they are actually derived from earlier Nintendo patents dating from 2021. In other words, it seems like once Palworld came on the scene, Nintendo filed divisional patents that were geared to fight specifically against Palworld's alleged infringement of the original patents. So they basically made beefier patents so they can try to fight against it and say, nah, we want to get this Palworld gone. We want some money. We want to get the Palworld gone. It's really stupid. Let's see here. In November 2024, patch removed the ability to summon pals by throwing Pokeball-like pal spheres. Now pals just materialize next to you when summoned, which no big deal. It's still stupid though. In May, another Pal World update changed how you can glide in the game. Instead of directly grabbing onto glider pals, now you just simply use pal buffed glider equipment. Okay, but still not riding the pals. It's worth noting that these changes by Pocket Pair are not an admission of guilt. Rather, as the Japanese patent attorney pointed out on Yahoo Japan News last month, Pocket Pair is following the standard three-pronged defense against patent lawsuits, which is to deny infringement, argue that the patents are invalid, and avoid infringement through design changes. He also noted that Nintendo does not have the upper hand, as there seems to be a fierce back and forth, with Nintendo pushing for patent infringement and Pocket Pair pushing for patent invalidity, which is basically making Pocket Pair, aka the makers of Pal World, having to do the stupid and spend all this money and time and effort on the stupid lawsuit from Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, doing bad because they just want to be like Apple of the video game industry and every other corporation and try to hinder their stuff. Not like they're doing like NetEase is doing with Zero Horizon Dawn to Sony. They're doing their own thing, something totally different. I don't think Pal World looks anything similar to a Pokemon game at all. It doesn't have, it's not an RPG, it's an open world, it does all this other stuff. Sure, some of them look like so-called Pokemon and whatever. Sure, you got some Pal Ball bullshit, whatever. Other games have done that shit too. So, fuck them. Fuck that fucking riding and gliding. Stop being bullshit. They're just bullshitting. And instead of that money going to making Pal World even bigger and better game or making newer projects, they got to use it for we got to stop. We got to protect ourselves in this legal case because of Nintendo being Nintendo. And it's shameless. And it's not like what is happening between Sony and NetEase right now. It is totally different. And all these people that are talking in the conversation here in the comment section, the same, bringing up a lawsuit and then changing the patents to try to fill your case should be grounds for the case to be not only thrown out immediately or dismissed, but also strip the patents away. Yes, it should be. And other people are joking about how it's funny that Nintendo ain't trying to patent title screens in games, on games and stuff and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's just a company trying to throw their weight around. Nintendo's got all the money and stuff, and they're just trying to hinder it. It's really stupid. I was against that lawsuit from the beginning, and that's why I bought Pal World, because I'm like, fuck it. Fuck you, Nintendo. I'm going to buy Pal World too, because shit, I'm against the man. I'm against everything that you stand for. Just be creative. Do something better, Nintendo. Instead of trying to sue these people for not really infringing on anything. Sure, they got some stuff there that's close to Pokemon shit, but maybe you guys should do better. Maybe you and the Pokemon company should think of, okay, they're not making a one-to-one exact Pokemon game because they're doing an open world. They're doing all this other stuff. Sure, it's like Pokemon and it sucks. But why don't we make our Pokemon games better, make the worlds better, make the RPGs better, open world, better looking graphics, do more stuff with the Pokemon and the characters, etc., etc. Why don't we make our products better, and then we can just say, hey, look, we're making all this money on a better game instead of just coming out with the same RPG shit every year, which I'm sure this new Pokemon YZ, whatever goddamn name it's called, coming out soon with the new Nintendo Switch 2 bundle and stuff like that. I bet it's going to be the same old, and they haven't really changed anything. Sure, I bought the last ones, like this, whatever it's called, Sapphire, whatever, and I got the Let's Go Pikachu, and I like the older Pokemon RPGs, but they're all the same, all the way going up to now, and then they've been getting worse because of the quality and how they run and stuff on the system. So instead of the Pokemon company and Nintendo doing better with their games, they're just trying to sue other people to say, fuck you, you're doing better than us. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible tactic, and Nintendo should be ashamed of themselves, but they're not. And like I said, it's totally different from what Sony is suing Tencent for, because Tencent is blatantly one-to-one ripping off their content, and they went to them to say, hey, can we make this sort of Horizon Zero Dawn like game and promote it as Zero Horizon Dawn? And Sony said no, and they went ahead and continued to do it, and it's not the same. It sucks. But that's what happens. And the last story that'll piss you off about just the world in general, of how hardware is getting more expensive, gaming hardware in general. Nintendo just announced that the original Nintendo Switch, not the 2, but the original Nintendo Switch is getting a price hike. It is going up by, I guess, on a lot of models. They're saying a lot of models, not only the first generation Nintendo Switch, but the Switch OLED, Switch Lite, and other select accessories are going up. This effect will take place from Sunday, August 3rd. So tomorrow, which if you're listening and watching this, that's already happened. Things are getting like a $40. Let's see here. The original Switch will go up $40, putting it at $339.99. The OLED Switch is getting a $50 price increase to $399.99. And $30 increase for the Switch Lite, which is now $299.99. So basically, as it says right here, Switch OLED $399.99 or $400 from $350. Non-OLED Switch from $339.99 or $340 from $300, and Switch Lite from $230 from $200. And then they said also some select accessories, but I'm not seeing what accessories. Probably the controllers and Joy-Cons. That's probably, oh yeah, Alarmo. Going from $100 to $110 because they need that extra $10 from Alarmo. Oh, great. It's fucking Nintendo. And Joy-Con 2 controllers from $95 to $100. So, okay, they say Joy-Con 2 controllers. Does that mean for the Switch 2? Huh. Oh yeah. Okay. It says Nintendo is also raising the price of some Switch 2 accessories. I thought they did that already. So are they doing it again? So Switch 2 Joy-Con controllers are going from $95 now to $100. That's expensive for those controllers. Very expensive. Very, very, very expensive indeed. But that's how it's going. Gaming isn't cheap anymore, folks. I hate to say it. Gaming isn't cheap anymore. And I don't know what else to say on that. We're going to end this podcast now. I'll quickly go through the games I played in the past week, which is not basically anything, because I haven't had much time to do much gaming. But the podcast is going a little late. And I got some stuff I got to do. I got some tree trimming to do with some friends, eat some hamburgers, enjoy some life. But yeah, games that I played in the past weeks, I've been playing a ton of whatever I can get into. Minecraft, Bedrock Edition. I'm a raw guy. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft because it's fun and easy to pick up and play. And I like to do work. Why not? I like to do work even in a game. I've been going in and out of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 on my Series X. A little bit, playing on my Xbox Series X. I could play on my raw guy, but I've just been doing it on the Series X because, if you do the rewards program on the Microsoft Xbox app, Sometimes you need to play like 15 minutes on your console to get the 15 points or 10 or 15 points or so from that, and it adds up. And so I also have to play, not only I got to play 15 minutes at least on my PC or something, or Rogue Ally, I got to play at least 15 minutes on my Xbox just to get those points. It's crazy. I'm stupid, I know, but that's why I do that. So I got certain games I'll play on my Xbox sometimes. I'll play certain games on my Rogue Ally PC sometimes. So that's why I did that. Crime Scene Cleaner, still playing on the Rogue Ally. I'm on the last level, on the last mission level, whatever you want to call it, I think. And then the game will be over and I'll be done with the game. Also, more cleaning, more work stuff, but fun. Still fun. I like just sitting back, doing some cleaning, moving of stuff, moving dead bodies, stuff like that. It's a fun game. It's on Game Pass if you want to play it. I'm almost done with that, so that'll be good. And then I'll eventually, hopefully, a Power Wash Simulator 2 will come on Game Pass when it eventually comes out, and it comes out to everything, and it's out there for a bit. Then it'll eventually come out on Game Pass, and I'll pick it up and I'll play Power Wash Simulator 2. And of course, I've been playing a lot, especially from last Friday's stream. A lot of RoboCop Rogue City on RoboMike Rogue City, the stream. So I played a bunch of that on the Series X. Love that game. It is a fun game. Watch my series, folks. Watch it on OldFreakyGamer.com or watch it on YouTube.com/OldFreakyGamer-2023 because the videos are up and on there. And watch me be RoboCop. Oh. That reminds me. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Okay, folks. Yeah, that if you heard the bell, I don't know if you heard the bell or not. That's my Ring doorbell. My friend is here for the trees and stuff. So, yeah, like I said, go on oldfreakygamer.com or go to youtube.com/oldfreakygamer-2023. All the videos are up there. The RoboCop Rogue City stuff. Fun game. I love it. I'm glad I bought it. And played a bunch of Splatoon 3 on the Switch. That was Wednesday. That's all I did. So I'm getting out of here, folks. I hate to say and cut and go, have some fun and cut and go, but it's time for me to get the hell out of here. So till next time, folks. Like I said, I got the podcast that's up now as you're listening and watching us. We'll see about if I have anything for Let's Play on Wednesday. And then Friday we will have the RoboMike Rogue City stream going on with RoboCop Rogue City. That will be Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube Live or Twitch.tv or OldFreakyGamer.com. Please you don't have to but subscribe to my YouTube channel. Why not? It's free. Everything's free. Go to OldFreakyGamer.com. It's free. The podcast is free. The videos are free. Everything's free. So I'm getting out of here. Everybody, game on, game hard, world conquest. Pushing this game button, this show. Now game over.
Pixel flicker, neon bright, old freaky gamer plays all night. Joystick in one hand, fries in the other. He's the king of one more level, brother. Press start, he's in the zone. His throne's a squeaky chair alone. Old freaky gamer, he's got the knack. Blasting through the game's attack. Level up and don't look back. Old freaky gamer on the track. 8-bit dreams and a 16-bit past. His reflex is slow, but his will is fast. Button mashing like a man possessed. High score chasing, he's obsessed. Respawn, repeat, rage, quit, restart. Every pixel's a work of art. Game over doesn't mean goodbye. He's back again, give it one more try. Old freaky gamer, he's got the knack. Blasting through the game's attack. Level up and don't look back. Old freaky gamer on the track.
Game over.